the quarterback position, you don't want to be playing yourself into the playoffs at this point in the season. They had a bad season, and they have turned it around, which is commendable. And if they get into the postseason, I will buy into it. They could run the table and go to the Super Bowl. Who knows? Anything can happen. We've seen crazier things. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually statistical. I'm just saying things. Packers were 4-8 before wins over the Bears, the Rams, and the Dolphins, who are currently on a 5-game losing streak. And the Vikings, which was a unbelievable win. It was an unbelievable win. We all know, we all have our opinion of the Vikings, but they have the best record out of those teams.
That win counts.
Aaron Rodgers hasn't thrown multiple touchdown passes in any of their wins on this 4-game winning streak. Here's some quarterbacks that have a higher passer rating than Aaron Rodgers during this streak. Taylor Heineke, Andy Dalton, Baker Mayfield, and Brock Purdy. More passing yards than Rodgers over this 4-game winning streak. Mike White in 3 games, Sam Darnold, Russell Wilson, Mac Jones. Now, we all can see, and obviously from those statistics, that they are winning games in a different way. So there is something to that. Now, where I'm with Shady is, okay, but if they shut the run game down, what are you going to do? Because it's not the same Aaron Rodgers that we've seen.
Right.
So I am very interested to see how this goes this weekend, and I am holding all my heat or all my praise until that moment.
See, I think the Packers are significantly better than their 8-8 record.
Ooh,
Significant.
Significant.
The teams that are undefeated since the start of December, the 49ers. Then things get dicey, obviously, because of the tragedy. The Bills, the Bengals, and the Green Bay Packers. If we assume Bills-Bengals, some team wins that game, it's the 49ers, the Packers, the Bills, or the 49ers, the Packers, and the Bengals. That's since the start of December. But what else I have to consider, Joy, Dave, Shady, is this. The Packers have beat the Cowboys. The Packers have beat the Dolphins. The Packers have beat the Vikings. If we were to start the playoffs right here, right now, the Niners are for sure better than the Packers. And that is where I would stop saying for sure better than the Packers. I wouldn't say the Giants are better than the Packers for sure. Definitely wouldn't say the Vikings are better than the Packers for sure. I wouldn't say the Giants are better than the Packers for sure. Now, we know the Eagles were better than the Packers by 7 points, but the Eagles, as of lately, haven't looked great, and we don't know where Jalen Hurts stands. So the Cowboys, Dave, you wouldn't say they're better than the Packers for sure. So if I'm really thinking about it, the Packers are arguably the 3rd best team in the NFC if we do want to just assume the Eagles.
Woo, child. Woo, woo.
Wait.
Oh, my goodness.
1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
In here.
Why are you doing this?
Niners.
Wow.
Eagles. And then I'm going to go with the Packers.
Okay, at least you had the Eagles over.
Yeah, I said Niners,
All right,
Eagles, and then I'm going to go with the Packers.
All right.
Because, what do you want? You want me the Commanders?
No.
You want to tell me the Lions?
You're saying that they're, like, right now, they're a better team, top to bottom, than the Cowboys?
If I had to bet on the Cowboys or the Packers winning, I would bet on the Packers.
Okay, so you're saying in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's where we are now. Like, this is the fun of the season.
No, that's not where we are now.
Because they're not in the playoffs.
They're not in.
Yeah.
Here I'm saying, though. Like, we're no longer in week 8. We're not in week 3. We're not in week 4. We're in a playoff game because it's winning, you're in. That's what the playoffs is, sudden death.
But what if they don't win, though?
Then
that's the playoffs.
We're done talking about them.
Who's out?
For the 4-game winning streak, it's been the Dolphins.
Dolphins, Bears, Rams.
Rams. Who's the last one?
Vikings.
The Vikings and Dolphins are solid wins.
No, not the Dolphins.
No, it's not.
I mean,
they played the game.
Hold up. They gave that game away. The Dolphins.
They took it.
But so now when we look back at it, my man had a concussion.
Sure, but if he would have left the game, we know Teddy Bridgewater wouldn't have beat him.
But you wouldn't have gave them turnovers over, though. You wouldn't have gave them 3 picks back after one after another. That doesn't happen.
You beat a team that had a winning record at the time.
Listen, this is what I will say.
Please say it.
The Vikings, I respect that win.
Yeah.
Divisional game, that should have been closer. It wasn't. I respect that win. I don't respect the Dolphins win. That was a loss. Okay. You beat the Bears. The Bears quarterback.
That was a loss?
The Bears quarterback.
That was a no.
This game had
How is a
72.
win a loss, LaShawn McCoy? Explain to me. I went to a lot of schooling. How is a win a loss?
They gave him that game. They
had to take it.
Okay. They won them 2 games.
Thank you.
The Bears quarterback last game put up 72 yards. So anybody can beat the Bears.
Sure, I agree with that.
The Rams, I won't even talk about the Rams. This is what I will say about the Packers.
Please do.
And I'm going to be honest, right? Their record, they are who they are. They are who they thought we were. My thing with them is, like, they look different, and I respect that. Our $50 million quarterback is not playing like that. Mm-hmm. We can't really throw the ball that well. He only had 15 passes last game, right? So they ran the ball. The defense is playing well.
Playing great. Teams playing great, special teams.
But the problem is,
What's the problem?
when you can't just get up there and run the ball on every team, that's the NFL, that's the playoffs, then what? You can't really throw the ball. We've seen how that looked the whole year.
But
A year with Aaron Rodgers hasn't had over 300 yards.
But you realize, Shady, y'all's then what? Shady, enjoy your.
No. I'm not saying it's not a then what. It's just basically what happens in football.
But I'm saying, like,
in the playoffs.
Here's the fear that I'm hearing from this table. If y'all stop the run, y'all have to give the ball to Aaron Rodgers.
There are certain,
That's a great problem to have.
Normally,
Not in 2022.
Normally it is.
Or
Normally
2023
it is.
now.
And I'll put some respect on the fact that it is still Aaron Rodgers. I'll sit with that anxiety that it's still Aaron Rodgers. But we ain't seen that Aaron Rodgers all year. And he's not getting, like, new receivers.
Sure.
Or he's not playing like better.
You can say that the Packers have to win a certain way in order to win.
Yeah, I would say
That's what we're saying.
Right.
There's a formula
We just saying what
to
it
this
is.
Packers
That's
winning.
fair. But at this junction in time, if we're being real, outside of a completely healthy Eagles team and a Kansas City Chiefs team, I would submit that if you stop this, then there are issues for most teams in ball. Like, I would submit outside of the Eagles team.
What about the Bills? They always struggle to run the ball, and Josh gets it done.
If Josh turns the ball over, then what?
And we've seen games where
The
and they still win, though.
Bills,
We've seen games that he's turned on and they still win the game.
Jets game didn't look great.
The Bengals.
How are we over here
Chargers.
anyway? How do we get to the AFC?
Well, I'm saying that if you stop the run, then Aaron Rodgers has the ball. That to me seems like a great problem to have. But Dave, we haven't heard your
what
thoughts.
tells you
Okay,
that?
here's the thing. Much like Joy's dilemma with the Dolphins, I am a scarred Cowboys, I hesitate with fan, but follower. I've watched Aaron Rodgers destroy the Cowboys' hopes and dreams too many times to just write it off. But that's not what we've seen from the Packers. Like, even when
We saw it this year.
When?
They beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, with Aaron Rodgers throwing like 14 passes
That's
that
what they did.
day.
But doesn't
they
it
were
matter?
yes, because like I agree. Like there is a formula here. There's a formula, and it relies on running the ball. Rodgers playing a clean game, which he's obviously amazing at doing, and the defense playing well. That's just a lot of boxes to check. And quietly, I'm going to sound so stupid. I'm going to sound so stupid because of how good the Packers defense looked against Minnesota. But I think a big part of the reason the Packers are in this boat in the first place is their defense hasn't been as advertised. They were awful against the run
agreed.
for a lot of the year.
Agreed.
They gave up 400 rushing yards to the Eagles not that long ago. So clearly, they obviously have the talent, right? Because they completely shut down Minnesota's defense. But again, it's been inconsistent. Like, you look at, and look, I get, there, two things can be true, and it's hard to wrap your head around sometimes. You can be a different team in December and January than you were in September.
That's absolutely true.
1,000%.
At the same time, all of these games count. That's why you got the numbers next to your name. That's why the 8-8 are there. And we've seen the inconsistency. They win back-to-back games against Tampa Bay and New England. You're like, oh, the Packers are coming. They're back on track. Then they lose 5 in a row. Then they look amazing beating Dallas at Lambeau. And we did this whole song and dance when that game happened. We were like, here come the Packers. And then they got
To the Titans.
their butts kicked by the Titans. And obviously we know what happened against Philadelphia. So they have won the games. I give them credit for that. But it is a testament to how inconsistent they've been that they've won 4 in a row in the home stretch, and they're not even in the playoffs yet. So I don't think you can say they're better than their record says they are.
Here's what's confusing to me. En route to the 49ers going to the Super Bowl in 2019, Shady, you talk about it all the time, how limited they had to pass the ball.
Yeah.
But they still got to a Super Bowl. You win however you need to win. Y'all have talked about this, I believe, last week's show. The Packers are finding a way to win regardless. It might have been Monday's show.
Okay.
So how are we now criticizing the way in which the Packers are winning? Like, it takes something to win regardless. Defense is playing great.
Well, I'm confused because that defense, you talking about the 49er defense, that
2019.
that's not the same defense.
No, it's not at all. Not at all.
So come on. So normally how it works, right? You got one that's more dominant than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs, we were way more dominant on offense than we were on defense. The 49ers were way more dominant on defense than on offense. So with the Packers,
Yes, sir.
it's the same thing, but that defense ain't as dominant.
No, it's
They had
not.
a couple good games on record, right? That's why they're 8-8. Regular offense, regular defense. They put some games together with the defense, and they beat some bad teams, and then the Dolphins gave them some game. They gave them the game.
Shady, has
That's
you
just the truth.
personalized this, though, because you more than anybody can talk about this on television. The year y'all won the Super Bowl,
Okay.
y'all were 7-5. You finished the season 11-5.
Okay.
You finished the NFL year as Super Bowl champs. You won your last 8 games.
Yeah.
The Packers have won 4 straight. For them to win a Super Bowl, which is far-fetched, but it would have been far-fetched y'all's first year, they would have to win 8 or 9 straight games. You've been in this situation.
Yeah, but I think it's just different. For one, our GOAT quarterback was playing like a GOAT quarterback, right? We had top-tier wide receivers, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and the backups was AB. Come on, this is AB. He was balling, right? And then we had Gronk. Listen, I get his TV, but don't do that. Don't play like that. A-Rod this year is nowhere near Tom Brady and that championship run. And then the defense was way better.
A-Rod's nowhere near Tom Brady, or is the talent around him nowhere near?
Does it matter?
It don't matter.
$50 million.
It don't matter.